In this video, we're going to take a look at risk management, which is an important aspect of project management. A risk is a chance of something happening that will have an impact on a project's objectives. These risks can be positive or negative. To deal with risks, every person involved with the project needs to regularly ask, what could go wrong that might threaten the project? What possible opportunities surround the project? And what could the project team do to best handle risk? A thorough answer to these questions requires a risk management plan. A risk management plan outlines how risks will be identified, qualified, quantified, responded to, and controlled. In this video, some key aspects of risk management will be outlined using the reinstatement of a current road as a case study. From the project management team, a risk management team is created. The first thing the risk management team does is brainstorm as many risks as possible associated with the project. The team also consults with industry experts with relevant experience from a range of different backgrounds to identify further risk. From this identifying process, the risk management team identifies the following risks. A catastrophic weather event like a flood or a tornado could cause damage to equipment and the road, which would result in project delays and financial loss. Striking underground or overhead services like water mains, power lines, or telecommunication cables could result in financial loss, project delays, injury, or loss of life. Movement of public vehicles through the roadwork site may result in a collision which could cause financial loss, project delays, injury, or loss of life. There is a risk that construction machinery such as trucks or diggers may collide with people or equipment, causing financial loss, project delays, injury, or loss of life. Another risk is caused by environmental factors such as dust, UV radiation, and noise that could affect the health of personnel. There is a risk that an employee may not show up to work on a workday for a number of reasons. This may cause project delays. All the identified risks are recorded in a document known as the risk register. There are many more risks which could have been identified, but we will skip ahead to see how the risk management team deals with the risks they have identified. After identifying risk, the risk management team performs a qualitative analysis which involves qualifying how likely it is that the risk will occur and how severe the impact of that risk will be. The total risk of each possible event or circumstance is then evaluated, where those risks that are likely to occur and have a high impact are rated as high or critical risks, and those risks with low impacts and low likelihoods are rated as low or non-critical risks. These are displayed in a table which is usually color-coded to make it easy to see which are the risks that require attention. After carrying out a qualitative analysis on the identified risks, the team may perform a quantitative analysis. A quantitative analysis is essentially putting numbers to the qualitative analysis. For example, the team may calculate the statistical likelihood that an underground fiber optic cable is struck by a digger based on past projects. The team may then calculate the cost that event would have on the project. For example, striking a fiber optic cable may occur one project in 5,000 projects and cost the contractor on average $100,000 in fines and repair costs. For this project, quantitative analysis is carried out for all the high-risk events identified during the qualitative analysis phase to assist future decision-making. After analyzing the project risks, it is necessary to plan responses to these. For each risk, a strategy is formed to deal with the identified risk. For critical risks with a high impact on project objectives, the strategy would be either to completely avoid the risk or to mitigate the risk. For less critical risks, which probably would not affect project objectives to the same degree, the responsibility of that risk might be transferred, or else the risk may be simply accepted. One of the risks the team identified earlier was catastrophic weather, which may cause project delays and destruction of project equipment. Although this risk has a high impact on project objectives, it has a low probability of occurrence, and so the strategy the team used to respond to this risk was transference of responsibility to another party by purchasing insurance. The risk of striking underground services such as telecommunication lines, power mains or water mains, causing financial loss, injury or loss of life was high. The team chose to avoid this risk by obtaining service plans from the council and locating each service before excavating. The risk caused by public vehicles travelling through the construction site, which may result in a collision causing damage to equipment, injury or loss of life, was mitigated by creating and implementing a traffic management plan. This plan outlines what the temporary speed through the site should be, how cones should be laid out, and how the site traffic management team should operate. The last step in the risk management process is to control the risks and implement the strategies decided on for each risk. This involves updating project documents such as the risk register and the project management plan, communicating to those exposed to the risks the nature of the risk and how they can avoid the risk, enforcing the strategies decided on to avoid the risks, and keeping clear records of incidents or events which nearly affected or did affect project outcome. In summary, risk management is about identifying risk, analyzing that risk, responding to that risk, and controlling that risk in order to achieve better project outcomes.